Hi, it's Glenn McQueenie, and welcome to my 25-minute Success Series podcast. Today's kind of exciting because here we are in the middle of the summer. We've just finished two quarters of 2018, and many of you have probably either had the best two quarters of your year, they've had the worst two quarters, or you were right in the middle where you had one bad quarter and one good quarter. And I guess I'm here to tell you today, just chill out, depending on whatever level of prediction you're at right now. In my experience, I've noticed that agents have usually two good quarters a year, and they have two bad quarters. And it could be sometimes front loaded. It would be like first quarter one from January to the end of March, and then April to the end of June. They will just have like the best year ever. They'll probably do 70-80% of their production. And then they're the ones who are ready to take some great, well deserved time off in June. There's other people who just get off to a terrible start at the beginning of the year, and sometimes it lingers. And a lot of that is because you're working with a lot of what we call maybe buyers and sellers. I love the yes people because they say, yeah, let's go buy a house or list my house. I respect the no people because they tell you, no, I don't want to do business with you at this moment. But it's the maybes that tend to kill us, and they tend to give us the bad quarters. They're the people who are, always looking for the right home, the perfect home to come out. You show them tons of properties. There's always a problem with it, or they're like stop starting all the time, like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go, and no, we're going to hold off for a little while. And you can fill, sometimes an entire year and have the worst year of your life if you're just full of maybes. So I guess my first piece of advice to you would be, list all of the people you're currently working with right now and just put a sign next to them. Are they a yes? Are they a no? Or do you think they're a maybe? And I guess even more importantly is if you've had a bad two quarters this year, like don't worry because what's coming is the next great two quarters of the year. I've never really seen an agent have four bad quarters. They'll usually just seem to be like one off and then they'll have two on and one off. Or they'll have like a really good spring, take time off, and then, they build again. And then the last quarter from October 1st to Christmas is, really the most spectacular one of them all. So I guess it's not really this whole notion, I guess, of, oh, I want to do 2 deals a month or 5 deals a month or 10 deals a month it's a bit of a false pretense when you look at the year. I mean, if you just look at the market volumes, typically December, January, beginning of February is the lowest volume, and then that's followed by July, August, and the beginning of September. So to kind of put yourself through the torture of, oh, I want to do 5 deals every month, and then for whatever reason nothing happens in January and February, you're like, oh my God, this year is a write-off. I think it's just maybe a bit silly and maybe just in need of you getting a different perspective on it. And the real perspective is we can't control what happens in the market. The markets go up and the markets go down. But what we can control is that the activities that we do every single day, week, and month really are what give us the results. So it's don't focus on the market, focus on your key activities. And in my experience, I've noticed that, in 30 years of doing this, when I look back from when I first met that person till I actually got paid, it was usually about 6 months to 9 months was actually from meeting them to actually, closing the deal and getting money in my bank account. So really, your activities now, what you do this month in July is really going to determine how the fourth quarter of the year is from October to the end of December and how your first quarter of next year is. A lot of top agents, what you don't realize with these mega agent teams is they look like they get tons of listings coming out in the spring. But what you don't know is behind the scenes, they're actually they're meeting the people, doing the comparative market analysis, telling them the staging tips in August, September, October, November, and December of the year before. So it looks like they're getting a whole lot of listings, but which they are, but it's really was the buildup. The first contact with these people it was July, it was August, September, October, and then the actual fruits of their labor paid off in the first and second quarter of the following year. So I guess um, it's just you know, if we can just really, it's summertime and people want to take some time off, and you know what, you've earned it. If you've had a busy year and you've done all the right things, take some time off. But if you haven't earned it, or if you don't want to go into like, having a whole bunch of bad quarters, now's the time to really just, start reconnecting with your niche market, and or going a little bit deeper, or discovering more, and meeting more people, because let's, you know, let's see real estate for what it is. It's a contact sport and it's a people business. And if you're just not talking to enough people on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, it's impossible for you to do a high level of transactions. And what I'm finding now as I look through our brokerages and I'm tracking the other agents is a lot of them are kind of going back. They're going deep into their existing client base. They're taking this time of the year to really go and do like random drop-by visits, which is where a great tip to do is if you get a map of your city and just put a little pin where all of your existing clients live right now. And next time you're showing in that area, just leave about half an hour earlier and just commit to dropping by and seeing 3 people before you actually meet the client to show the house or to go on the listing appointment. There's nothing that says that you're a successful agent more than when you show up at someone's door unannounced. And I know people hate this, but that's the beauty of why these random pop-by work so well. Is you just knock on the door and you say like, no, no, I can't come in. I was just drove by your house and I was just thinking about you. How you doing? No, yeah, no, I can't come in. Yeah, I'd love to get together for a coffee. I'm just showing a house around the corner in a few minutes, but I just wanted to say hi. There's nothing that reinforces not only that they matter to you, that you care, that you thought about them, you didn't forget about them, and that you're an active agent in the area, more than the random pop-by visits. And they can be absolutely not random. They could be just coordinated. It's like this day for the next 2 hours on this Saturday, I'm just going to go by, and all I want to do is just get my face in front of my past clients. Because once you get your face back in front of them, you get the mental space back in their mind. They've forgotten about you. They've moved on to doing other things right now. And so you're not top of mind. And so when a friend of theirs, or even if they're thinking about selling, it requires more effort for them to go, oh, yeah, let me find his number. Let me get it to her. Let me refer. Uh, Sometimes it's just easier to do nothing, which is why most of them actually do nothing. So a great way for you to build your book of business and get it ready for, the next, the end of the third quarter that we're in right now, um, going up to the end of September and also into the fourth quarter, is just reconnect with your past clients. This is the time when you can just kind of, just go back to being that human being that you were and why you got into this business, which is the reconnection and the service of helping other people hit their goals. And when you have that mindset of all of my business is really at my fingertips right now, that if I just show up as an amazing person with my past clients, I don't even have to ask them for referrals. The simple fact that I was there, my face was in front of them, is probably going to set me up to probably get a referral in the next couple of days, a couple of weeks. I can't tell you how many agents I've been coaching, and when they actually go back and call their past client, they call me back and it's like, oh my God, they just referred me to their sister who's thinking about buying a place here and they've got another place to sell. So if you think about it, is like one of the best niche markets that you can ever operate in, and actually the best long-term sustainable business model, is keeping closely connected to your past clients and your sphere of influence. And it's summertime. This is the time when you get to go to barbecues. You get invited to more activities than you would in the winter months or in the colder months. So just take this opportunity to show up and be amazing, and show up with a curiosity and wonder, not with an agenda. And what I mean by that is don't go up there, walk around going, hi, I need referrals, hi, I need referrals, I need referrals. Just show up and be you and be amazing and start talking to people. And guess what? At some point, they're going to start talking about real estate because that's what you have in common. And then your leadership, how you show up at that moment, and when they're asking you, how's the market, is really so important to how this whole thing is going to work out. If you show up in what we call charge neutral, which is the way I'm talking to you right now, just talking, that's a very professional approach to have a conversation. Or you can throw up charge negative, where you're more like, how's the market? Oh boy, it's really busy. It sucks, or market's been really slow, or whatever. I mean, nobody wants to hear from Debbie Downer. And then also, they don't want to hear from Foghorn Cleghorn, right? Charge positive. It's great. It's amazing. The market's so good. You wouldn't believe it. It's so crazy, because they don't even believe it. What if you just showed up and the best version of yourself in absolute curiosity and reconnected with your past clients and don't even bring up real estate until they actually bring it up? And you know what? They might not even bring it up. But what's happened is you've been able to get top of mind. You've been able to, when they think about real estate in the next week or 10 days, your name is going to pop up. You might have even had taken that opportunity to set up a second meeting to go for coffee and just be their friend. This is how you build a great niche referral-based business. It's by always keeping in contact, bringing value, giving, 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 never asking, because the ask is not even necessary. They will just start sending, people always give back to you at the level that you give to them. So if you really want to have the best 2 quarters for the next 2 quarters, you want to make them the best of your year, is just go out, get reconnected, um, and chill out a little bit. If you've had a bad year or you're feeling broke or whatever, well, that's okay. But when you start scaling it out, go, okay, yeah, I'm a bit broke right now. I need money right now. The moment you start going, I need a deal right now, is the moment you will never, ever get a deal. I don't know why it works, but every time I've wanted a deal, everything I touch falls apart. And the moment I don't want a deal, or I'm so busy just in the activities of real estate, of meeting people and showing and buying, that's when the universe seems to just drop more and more surprise business on my lap that I never even needed. So act like you've had the best year ever, because it's the secret to your referability and people sending more business to you. And also, scale out your life. Like, what if it's a year from now? What if we just said, Happy New Year? It's Friday, July 13th. What a lucky day. And over the next 12 months, I want to do 12, 24, 36, 48 transactions. And then just chill it out a bit. Maybe in the next quarter, I want to do 10% of that goal. In the second quarter, I want to do about 30% of the goal. And then in the next, I want to do another 30. And then I want to do another 30. And, it's time on the task over time that gives you your rewards in real estate. It's not the start, stop, or the focus on short term money, which I think is becoming an even bigger disease in our industry right now. No one ever built a long term business with a super short term focus and short term action plan. What they do is they set a great goal over the next year, and then they just break it into each quarter. What are the 4 or 5 things that if I can just get these things done, it will multiply my business forward? And then it's the momentum of the action and your activities in the business that starts to compound and accelerate. And when that happens, so does the number of transactions you do and the number of deals that you make. So um, I just really wish you the best next 2 quarters, and I hope it's the most profitable one for you in your real estate career. So take care, and if you want to be a guest on my podcast, remember, you just have to send me an email at glenn@glennmcqueenie.com, and if you want to hear some more great interviews, then we just need a lot more people to interview and get some free coaching from me. Also, in the fall, I will be launching a new real estate coaching program. It'll be more based on like a consulting ticket fee, which is you can just buy groups of my time in hours, and I'm happy to help you grow your business in any way we can. So feel free to reach out, email me if you want to come on and be a guest on the podcast, or if you are interested in doing more one-on-one coaching, or if you want to get a group of people together. I've got some extra capacity this fall, and I really want to, help as many people as I can. So thanks a million for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, have a great day.